as always, it takes LinkedIn a hot minute for me to actually see it and see you guys that you are joining me. So give me a second here while LinkedIn decides to show that I'm live, although you guys are already seeing this. So let me know in the comments when you guys are here and we can get started. Hope you have had a great week so far. It has been crazy busy at Mod Girl Lands. Lots of things in the works, new clients, new projects for existing clients, lots of things. We have been crazy busy, so hope you guys are doing well. And I still can't see myself on LinkedIn. There we go. Okay, finally. Let me know in the comments when you guys are here and let me know how things have been going for you. So as always, thanks for joining me on my weekly Ambitious Outcomes live LinkedIn series, where I help you carve a path to better visibility, trust, and faster growth. So these are for you, and I'm here to help you guys and showcase what I've been learning, what I know, my experiences, and everything I can possibly do to help you guys succeed and build your thought leadership to grow your career, your personal brand, and your business. Hey, Mike. You're so cool, homie. Right back at you, Mike. Hey, Bob. How are you? Hey, Matt. Congratulations, Matt. So Matt won the LinkedIn makeover, which I will mention here in a second. Let's get started. Mike says he's here, so let's get started. Awesome. Hey, Dale. Video and audio working fine. Hey Manoj, how are you? So a quick reminder, when you guys join me live on LinkedIn and you comment, you will be entered to win a free mini LinkedIn makeover valued at $500. And this past month, Matt, who is live with us now, Matt Lovell, was the winner. So Matt will be getting an awesome LinkedIn makeover and profile and just LinkedIn marketing recommendations. The month prior, Chris Lane Jones won that. And he left me an amazing LinkedIn recommendation on my profile because the tips that we gave Chris, he was able to implement and he actually landed a job from it, which is amazing. So during COVID, he was able to land a really great job and he attributed some of our tips and tricks and helping him with his LinkedIn profile to landing that job. So that is super awesome. So happy for him. I'm excited for you, Matt, to get our recommendations for you. So if you guys want to be a part of this, all you have to do is join me and comment and you are entered to win. Hey, Carolyn, thanks so much for hopping on. I'm so glad you can make it this week. Hey, Jason. Hey, Eric, giving us each a free hour consultation. Okay, now you're putting words in my mouth, Eric. Michelle, how are you? So happy to talk to you. Yes, indeed. I'm so great we got to chat, Michelle. Good afternoon, Michael. Do I win the contest if I spam? I'm really good at that. I don't know. You'll still be entered to win, but not recommending that. Oh man. So thank you guys so much. So before we get into it, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can leverage what you're already doing to establish your thought leadership and post content. So I know this topic is, daunting for some people, just posting content in general and really building up their thought leadership and leveraging LinkedIn the right way. And my goal on these weekly lives is to help you guys get clarity on really what you need to be doing, the steps you need to be taking, so you're not just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks, but also how you can maximize your time to where things aren't so daunting, to where you're like, okay, I got this process down. I'm already doing these things anyway. So that's going to lead me into creating valuable content. So that is what I want to talk about today with you guys. Hey, Michael, good afternoon from Chicagoland. Good afternoon here from Sacramento. So before I get into it, I want to tell you something that I just saw yesterday, actually. Thank you guys for all the love, by the way, on the LinkedIn video. I appreciate that. So I was watching a video of Richard Branson and Simon Sinek, the guy who created the why, right? And I wanted to share this with you guys because I feel like it's really important. And if you guys have been following me and watching my lives, you know that I talk about this all the time. And that is the human element and just being human and being a good person, right? And that's so crucial to me in everything we do. And I want to work with people who are also good people. And I want to help you guys showcase that and really, step outside your comfort zone to build up your thought leadership, but show that human side of you that truly cares and you want to provide value and you have empathy, right? And you're a good human. So it's interesting because they asked Simon Sinek, if you were to start a business right now, what problem would you set out to solve and why? And it's interesting because he basically said being human, that human connection, I feel like we are all missing. And he's like, we all like to blame politicians, right? So we're so divided in our country right now, in the United States of America. And politicians are really just mirrors of us, is what he's saying, okay? This is Simon Sinek. And he's like, you know, we are living in a time where we are all so judgmental and we're so quick to judge and we're super bad at listening and everything is black and white and we can't see other people's viewpoints. It's my way or the highway. We're not open-minded. We live in our little bubbles where other cultures and other ways of life are wrong. And we don't see different viewpoints. And he's like, to be honest, all I want is for people to be empathetic, to show empathy, to be human beings, to have that human connection, have those difficult conversations, see people for who they are, understand where people are coming from, hear their viewpoints, don't be so quick to judge, right? Receive feedback, listen to people, and really just be more human. And it hit home because this is what I do. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here helping you guys too, is I want to help you guys do exactly that, but do it in a way that helps people and grows your brand, your personal brand or your company brand. And I think we can all focus on being better human beings. And what I'm going to talk about today and how you can do that is through content and through engaging and through showcasing what you as a human and as a professional have done in your life and how you help people. And so I just wanted to bring that up before we get going here. Hey, Heath. Yes, I'm so excited to work with you guys, Heath. No worries, Richard. Thanks so much for hopping on. So I just wanted to say that before I get into, you know, how you guys can start creating content, because I want that always to be forefront in your minds when you guys are out there creating content and building relationships. You just need to be human, and your brand needs to showcase that, whether it's your personal brand and you're going out there and you're seeking new career opportunities, or you're just building your thought leadership to get more advising opportunities, whatever it is, or if you're trying to grow your business. It's the same concept of just being human, showing that you care and showing empathy, right? So getting into that, first of all, speaking of that, what do you guys think of LinkedIn stories? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of being human, this is one way that LinkedIn is wants us to be more human, and humanizing LinkedIn so it's not so businessy is the LinkedIn stories aspect. So I talked about this a couple weeks ago when I got access. I want to know what you guys think of it though. Like, are you using LinkedIn stories? Do you have access? Do you like them? Do you follow other people's stories? Like, what do you think of them? So tell me that real quick and I'll keep going here. So I've only been using them on Thursdays to promote my LinkedIn lives. But I'm not a very personal social media person anyway. I use social media for business and to help you guys. I don't use it to share personal stuff for the most part. So, okay, Ryan says he loves it. Awesome. Michael says the more you give, the more you get. Exactly. So that is, it is a really good way to show kind of behind the scenes and like a day in the life. And it is a really good way to get people to know you on that more personal level. I feel like I already do that kind of by going live with you guys every week, right? So there's different ways to do that, but that's the whole point of LinkedIn stories, is to get more, human, right? To show that human side of you as a professional and let people in on maybe a little bit of, a day in the life type things, or what makes you tick, or behind the scenes type of events, if you're doing a webinar, whatever it is. So I was just, hey, Raul, thanks so much for joining. Ahmad says it's great for personal branding. Hey, Ahmad, most following others. Okay, perfect. Ryan says he'd like to use it. Okay, so on that note, let's talk about creating thought leadership content. So I talk about this all the time, right? So at Mod Girl, we help establish professionals as thought leaders. So if they're already thought leaders, we help boost their thought leadership. If they're not yet, or don't consider themselves a thought leader yet, we help them get to that point. And we do that by helping them post valuable content, promoting that content, engaging with others in the industry, other posts, and then building relationships, right? So there's all these things that go into this. And I want to focus today a little bit on how you can maximize what you're already doing to share content. So before I get into this though, a lot of people and a lot of brands, they make the mistake of creating content that they want to create, okay? So they do it based on what they would find valuable and what they think would be awesome, and they don't really take into consideration what their customers or their prospects or the people consuming the content what they want. Okay, so they think about them, the company, the person, before they think about the customers. And so before I get into these tips, I want you to also think about what would your connections, what would your prospects want to consume as far as content goes? Because what we think that we like might be completely different than what people who are consuming the content like. So an easy way to do this, and you still need to be authentic and be your true self, obviously, in everything you do. It should never come across fake, and it should always be from you as the human, right? And you should be comfortable with showcasing that, your personality, right? To get people to get to know you on a deeper level. And so I'm not saying change any of that. I'm just saying think about what others would find valuable, because it might be different than what you would. And so one way to do this is just pay attention to what you're doing on a daily basis. So who are you talking to on a daily basis, right? So for me, I'm talking to tons of people on a daily basis, from my team members to vendors to clients to prospects and to just you guys, right? LinkedIn connections and social media in general. So I have a lot of conversations going on. And if you guys are aware of this, I've talked about this before, but if you're aware that you need and you want to create content, you start really paying attention to the conversations and the stuff that's happening to you throughout the day. Because here's an example. Let's say you get on a phone call with your client, and the client's asking you, a few different questions related to the services you provide. That's a topic right there, you guys, okay? So jot down, what are they asking you? So they're asking me specific questions based on the services we provide. Obviously, they're probably not the only one who wants to know that. So what if I take that question and I spin it into a valuable post, and then I post that on LinkedIn and other social media, right? So it's just these little conversations that you're having and things come up. And it could even be something like a new campaign or something that you discussed with a client because they had this sort of pain point, right? So let's say a customer has a specific pain point and you come up with a solution for that pain point. There's a story that you can tell right there. And storytelling is huge when it comes to content marketing and building your thought leadership. So that is one way. Make sure Heath said being a subject matter expert is also different than leading a thought process. Exactly, Heath, 100%. Yes, you're right. Those are two different things. I mean, you can, the thing is too, with thought leadership is, it's not all about, and so it's interesting because some individual, I think it was on one of my posts recently, they were like, I hate the word thought leader. I hate the word thought leadership. That's just saying, to me, that means that one person has a certain way of thinking and that everyone else should think that way. And that is definitely not what thought leadership is. And that's not what we define thought leadership as Mod Girl. So like Heath mentioned, being a subject matter expert is a little bit different than leading a thought process and starting a conversation. So for us, thought leadership is simply doing that. So it's starting conversations. It's not saying that, hey, my way of thinking is the only way of thinking, but it's getting people to think about certain things. And sure, you want to be on the leading edge of what's happening in your industry, and you want people to see you as that person who updates them with trends and tips and tricks, but it's not it's not an ego thing. It's not, I'm a thought leader, you should listen to me because I know more than you do. It's the opposite of that. Like, I'm trying to take ego out of the equation, right? Like, it is not about ego. It's about having an impact and helping people. So when you guys are going through your daily, processes, that's just like that. Your daily processes and systems. What do you do on a daily basis? What do you do for clients? I mean, that alone can be content on what you do to make things successful for your customers, for your clients, for the people you work with, right? For your colleagues. Like, the certain things and the steps that you take, that alone can turn into content, okay? So I want you to have this ideas factory in your head and possibly on paper where you're going through the motions of working every single day, but things that you're doing, conversations you're having, stuff that you come across on LinkedIn or on Twitter or wherever, all of those things can spark thought leadership content from you. For example, let's say you're on Twitter and you see an inspirational quote or an inspirational story, and let's say it made you feel a certain way, a good way, obviously. that's a post right there, and that's getting a little bit personal because you're talking about something inspirational that obviously motivated you, right? And so there are so many little things that every single day we are doing these things and consuming and working with people and helping people, and everything we do, you guys, if you're consciously aware of it, can be turned into content to help people. Ahmad says, get people to engage, which creates meaningful dialogue. I'm glad you said that, Ahmad. That brings me to this point of engagement. So the whole thought leadership content is so much different than just content marketing, right? So everyone knows what content marketing is. And as a marketer who have been doing this for over a decade now, you know, when we first started this whole content marketing aspect, a lot of people think about it as, okay, so I need to talk about what I do for people and how I can help people, and then I need to send them somewhere so they can contact me. Or I need to send them to this page on my website so they can fill out a form for a lead magnet or, you know, a free guide, whatever it is, and then eventually contact me, okay? Thought leadership is the complete opposite of that. You don't even have to have a call to action in thought leadership content, because guess what? People are going to contact you because of your content and how valuable it is. So if you guys were with me last week when I interviewed Chris Walker, who was amazing, if you guys were on that and you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. So Chris was talking about, he posts a video every single day. He posts on LinkedIn every single day. He's been doing it for I think like 15 months. He has over 45,000 followers. LinkedIn is his main driver of new business for his company. He has a SaaS marketing agency company. And he never, not once, puts a call to action in content. Not once. He never says, contact me if you want XYZ, or click this link to download this guide. He never does that, yet he is killing it with his content, and they are super busy getting clients all the time because he is providing value and coming from a place of value. So it's more about them and helping people and showcasing your expertise than it is about sending people to a landing page to fill out a form or telling people to contact you. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to do that. Everyone does things differently. If you guys consume my content, you see I switch things up. Like sometimes I say contact me, right? Sometimes like if you want some ideas, message me, right? Those are like little subtle CTAs that I do. I have CTAs for, you know, joining me on this LinkedIn Live. So I still incorporate some CTAs more so than let's say Chris does. But I'm telling you guys this for a reason so you understand that what we're doing is in building thought leadership, it's so much more impactful from a content marketing standpoint than just sending people to your website and putting a little blurb about why they should click the link and download your guide. It's completely different than that. So let me get caught up in the comments and we'll continue here. And I want to make a comment on the engagement part too. So Dale says, it's one thing to be a subject matter expert, but something very different to share content that is deeply of value to your connections. Sharing with your empathy and adding practical value differentiates thought leadership. I agree completely. 100%, Dale. Jason, been following Chris since last week. Loving the content. Good. I'm so glad. Isn't Chris great? Chris was awesome. So helpful. I'm so glad you thought that too, Carolyn. So on the topic of engagement and Chris, so one thing Chris mentioned is that you should leave 5 meaningful comments every single day on LinkedIn on popular posts. And so Chris does this really, really well. And Chris does everything himself. So he engages with people. He responds to his messages, everything. He doesn't have a virtual assistant doing anything, which I think is pretty incredible. I will be completely honest and say that I do have people helping me manage my LinkedIn. I mean, when I'm talking to people and having conversations, it's me. A lot of times the comments are me, but it's not always me. Like I have help. I have help managing my LinkedIn so that I can keep up with it. Chris is obviously Superman because he doesn't need any help and I need help. Totally fine. It's cool. But what he does is he takes time to leave 5 thoughtful comments. He says that he recommends, I don't know how many he does, but he recommends leaving 5 thoughtful comments a day on popular posts. And so this ideas factory that I mentioned earlier, guys, you can also look at what other people are posting and then save them. This is what I do all the time. And I know I've mentioned this to you guys a lot, is clicking that save button in the top right-hand corner of, you have to hit the buttons and it'll drop down, but to save LinkedIn posts that you feel like are valuable and that you can spin ideas off of to make your own content. So that and following certain hashtags, right? So make sure you're following hashtags that are relevant to your industry, and you're following influencers and micro-influencers, which I want to talk about that here in a second. But when you leave thoughtful comments, people are going to see that, and it's going to boost your brand awareness. Not to mention, you're going to get in front of more people, and that alone can be content topics. So it's interesting because I found myself leaving a thoughtful comment before, and I'm like, shoot, that's a post idea. I'm like, okay, right on. I have a new post idea. So I literally like copy and pasted my comment, and I went and posted it in my content ideas folder that I have in my Google Docs, where I keep track of all my content ideas. So again, these are things that you guys are already doing on a daily basis, or you should be doing. I mean, you're already consuming content, right? And when you leave meaningful comments to people, that's going to drum up ideas for posts, or you could even use that, the comment itself as a start of a post. And then also it gets you in front of more people, right? So on that note, I was talking to someone yesterday, a professional yesterday, and giving him some LinkedIn tips on the phone. And I mentioned, so he's doing a lot of great things, right? He's posting content, he's building relationships. And so I go, have you done much with collaborating with others in your space? Like other, maybe like mini influencers or any other thought leaders in your space? And he's like, what do you mean? I mean, collaborating with them. Let's say, hey, do you want to do a video together? Or collaborating on even a post or an article, but somehow reaching out to the people doing good things in your industry. So other thought leaders doing good things. And I recommend doing this for people who have more connections than you do, because it's a great way to get in front of them. So for example, Chris is a perfect example. So Chris was on my LinkedIn live show last week. Chris has double the connections I do on LinkedIn. And he's been posting, he posts way more than I do, right? So he's been posting daily videos for like over a year now. I don't even post daily. I mean, maybe sometimes, but it's certainly not like thought leadership daily content, right? So I say that Chris is, doing more things than I am on LinkedIn, and he has a bigger audience than I do on LinkedIn. Twitter and the other things I'm on, totally different story. We're just talking about LinkedIn here. So it's advantageous for me to collaborate with people like Chris, because not only is he amazing and super, knowledgeable, and it helps you guys and helps my audience, but it allows me to get in front of people that know him and might not know me. So I highly recommend that you guys reach out to people in your industry, people doing good things, people that are active on LinkedIn, and see if they want to collaborate with you. See if they want to hop on a quick Zoom video where you guys, talk about something super valuable for 20 minutes or even 15 minutes, whatever it is. Post that on both of your LinkedIns, and boom, you're automatically in front of a bigger audience. And that's free exposure for you guys. So think if you did this every single month. So if you make it a point every single month, I'm going to connect with, X amount of thought leaders in the industry, and my goal is to land one collaboration opportunity with them. That adds up really fast, even if it's a podcast, right? So many people have podcasts and successful ones. Ask to be interviewed on their podcast. Ask to hop on a quick video with them where you can post it on LinkedIn. Ask to co-write a blog with them. I mean, there's a million different ways you guys can collaborate with others, and it's free exposure. Not only that, but you can learn from them, right? You can learn from people doing good things and doing great things on LinkedIn that have a bigger audience than you do and maybe are posting more than you. Not only can you learn from them, but you can leverage their audience to get in front of more people. Does that make sense? Sydney, so good to see you. Hope you are well. Thank you so much. Always bringing optimism and encouragement, empowering others. That's what I'm here for, Sydney. So on that note too, so this kind of goes back to just the relationship building aspect of leveraging LinkedIn. So you have the content, we could talk, I give you guys content tips all day long, and I feel like I do on these LinkedIn lives, but you guys can't neglect the relationship building piece of LinkedIn. And with that said too, before I get into this, responding to all the comments that are left on your post is also very advantageous for multiple reasons. The algorithm, obviously, and also to let people know that you are engaged and you're responding to them, and to make people feel special. Sorry if you hear my dog. It sounds like he's coughing up a fur ball right now. Okay, so speaking of that, if you guys are posting content regularly and you want to join Mod Girl's Mod Pod, we have a community of LinkedIn users who we help each other out, and we like and we comment on each other's posts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. And so if you guys want to be a part of that, send me a message and I'll add you to it. It's a Trello board. And essentially, you know, at 9 a.m., Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we all go and we share each other's links, and then we comment and we post, we comment and we like each other's posts to help boost that awareness and, you know, have the algorithm kind of show our posts higher up on the feed. So if you guys want to be a part of that, it's real engagement from real people that are in the Mod Girl community. If you want to be a part of that, send me a message on LinkedIn and I can add you to that Trello board, which is called the Mod Pod. Okay. So I wanted to say that because that does 100% help when you have a community of people who like and comment and engage with each other's posts. That always helps boost it up in the feed so people see your content more often. And I wanted to mention that. Thank you, Hugh. I am glad you are loving the tips. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the relationship building aspect and how you shouldn't ever, okay, how do I want to word this? Always realize that relationships are key, okay? Business is based on relationships, and nothing can be a human-to-human relationship. It can't. You can't throw up a landing page and send people to download a free guide and expect that to have the same impact as if you were to build a relationship with someone and then you get on a phone call with them, okay? It's night and day. You cannot even compare that. And so LinkedIn is amazing for relationship building and then building those referral partners. You guys have no idea how many times recently, just in the past couple of weeks, I've hit it off with someone on LinkedIn because I'm constantly sending new connection requests, building a relationship, posting content, engaging. I have a lot going on LinkedIn always. And I cannot tell you how many times I've hit it off with someone personality-wise. I hop on a phone call with them. We start talking about what we do, how we can help each other out. They refer me to someone. And then that person refers me to someone. And then the other person, and so it's like this train of amazing people who are telling others about me and what I do. And it's only because I am hopping on phone calls with like-minded people that I vibe well with, and I'm listening to them, and I'm giving them, you know, tips if it comes up in our conversation. I'm telling them what I do, we hit it off, and then they tell other people about me, and then it's a train effect. So if you guys are neglecting, I think that's the word I was going for. If you guys are neglecting the relationship aspect of building your career or your business, you are missing out. So content marketing is huge when it comes to thought leadership, obviously, but relationship building is just as important. You guys can't expect to just post content and then not build relationships with people and have everything blow up for you and it work out the way you want. You have to focus on building those relationships because, again, it trumps any sort of old school traditional marketing. That human to human connection, which I talked about earlier on with the Simon Sinek and what's his name? Richard Branson. I was like, Richard Branson, Virgin Airlines, what's his name? So the same thing is like when you guys are building relationships and get on the phone with people and just, you know, seeing how you can help each other out, that goes a long way. And that all comes from making sure you guys are spending time sending connection requests and engaging with people while also posting content. But a lot of people get into this habit of focusing too much on the content side and they overthink it, or they spend way too much time. And then I talk to them and I'm like, well, what are you doing on the relationship building side? They're like, nothing. That's why you're not happy with your results. I mean, you have to be doing both. And again, business is all about relationships. And that is why LinkedIn is such a gold mine. There is no other social media network that exists, B2B focus, where you can build meaningful relationships easily just by messages. You guys, it's so... Sorry, someone called me. Just by sending a simple message and striking up a conversation. I mean, you don't have to have complicated funnels, you guys, to do this and to meet your career goals and your business goals, okay? Hey, Raul, I'm so glad you found that. Dale said, train effect equals building momentum. 100%. I love that, Dale. You're exactly right. It's all about building momentum and being consistent. Consistency is key. We talked about this with Chris last week. He is super consistent with his content and it's paying off. I have been super consistent with my content since March, probably. So obviously I've been using LinkedIn for a decade now, or 2011, I think is when I started my LinkedIn account. But I haven't been super consistent except for this year. You can blame COVID for that too, which is great. I'm so glad I am and I don't regret it. But this consistency has been paying off for me. I'm consistent. I've been going live every single week with you guys. So you have to find something to be consistent. Chris brought this up too. So be consistent with what you're doing. If you have a podcast, that's awesome. That's consistent. If you're going live every week on LinkedIn, awesome. That's consistent. If you're posting content every Wednesday, if it's just Wednesday, great. That's consistency. But do what you guys can do. So one of the questions was, how much content should I post? And the answer is however much you can, right? How many people should I connect with every day? However many you can. Do as much as you guys can, but be smart about it and time block and make sure you're getting things done that are important and you're not wasting time on things that aren't moving the needle. And like Dale said, that builds momentum when you're building those relationships. But same thing with content. When you're consistent with both building relationships and posting content, then the momentum really starts going and things really start picking up. Okay. So I know we're at the 30-minute mark now. So let me know if there's anything else that I can help you guys with, any questions you have. I have some content marketing stuff we didn't get to, just mainly just tips and tricks. But if there's anything specifically that you guys want me to cover next week, let me know. I kind of just, I share with you guys every single week what's currently happening in my world and the content I'm consuming and everything that I'm learning and that I know. And I kind of just take that and I come here and share it with you guys. But if there's anything specific ever that you guys want me to help you with, let me know. If you haven't yet, check out my LinkedIn profile checklist where you guys can get all the strategies you need to optimize your profile. So it is amazing as you are, and showcases your expertise. So check that out in the link. Michael says, I have connected with the hundreds of virtual friends during COVID-19 with follow-up Zoom calls. I love that, Michael. Yes, no, it's so great. And that it's so powerful and it goes such a long way too, especially during these crazy times, right? It's just good to have those new friends and those new connections that you can, build a relationship with. Eric says, Dale, terrific comment. Yes, indeed. I love it. So as always, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If there's ever anything I can do to help you on the thought leadership or LinkedIn front, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you guys. I will see you next week, same place, same time. Make sure to engage and leave a comment so you can win the LinkedIn makeover like Matt and Chris. And then I will see you guys next week. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, and we will chat next week. All right? If you guys need anything, let me know in the comments or send me a message and we'll go from there. Thank you guys.